The year is 2025. The world watches with bated breath as a familiar storm brews, a trade war. At the eye of this tempestuous economic hurricane stands former President Donald Trump. Back in the Oval Office after a tumultuous election, he has unleashed a barrage of tariffs, igniting a firestorm of global retaliation. Trump's weapon of choice? Tariffs. His targets? Long-standing allies and economic rivals alike. Canada, Mexico, and China found themselves in the crosshairs, grappling with new levies on their exports to the United States. The stated goal? To protect American jobs and industries. The reality? A tangled web of economic consequences that threaten to unravel the delicate fabric of global trade. This is not a game of winners and losers. This is a game where everyone gets screwed. Except maybe the people who make those tiny bottles of shampoo you get in hotels. They're probably doing great. But hey, at least we're not talking about his hair for once, right? Canada, America's friendly neighbor to the north, known for its maple syrup, hockey obsession, and Justin Trudeau's impressive collection of novelty socks, is more than just a land of politeness and poutine. It was among the first to face the brunt of Trump's tariff storm. A hefty 25% tariff on Canadian imports, including a 10% levy on Canadian petroleum, sent shockwaves through the economy. This economic blow landed like a rogue puck to the face, causing immediate and widespread concern. But Canada didn't just roll over and accept this economic body check. Oh no, they retaliated with the fury of 1,000 hockey dads scorned. A swift and calculated counter-tariff package, targeting $30 billion worth of US goods, was unleashed. Steel, aluminum, and even those little marshmallows you put in hot chocolate, you know the ones, were not spared. These items were slapped with retaliatory tariffs, sending a clear message back to the US. Trudeau, never one to mince words, publicly slammed the tariffs as very dumb, a phrase so perfectly Canadian it could only have been uttered by someone who knows their way around a double-double and a Tim Hortons. He appealed directly to the American people, highlighting the self-inflicted wounds these tariffs would inflict on both sides of the border. Trudeau emphasized the deep economic ties and mutual benefits that could be jeopardized. Looks like someone just woke up the moose, eh? And this moose is ready to defend its territory with a fierce determination. Mexico, America's southern neighbor and partner in the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, also found itself staring down the barrel of Trump's tariff shotgun. While the details of Mexico's retaliation were initially kept under wraps, they promised a measured but firm response to what they perceived as an attack on their economy. The Mexican government, caught in a delicate dance between economic pragmatism and political posturing, was forced to walk a tightrope. On the one hand, they needed to protect their own industries and workers from the fallout of Trump's tariffs. On the other hand, they had to navigate the complex relationship with their powerful neighbor to the north. When life gives you limes, you make margaritas. When Trump gives you tariffs, you're still figuring that one out. China, the world's second-largest economy and America's primary economic rival, remains a formidable foe in the ongoing tariff disputes. Having already endured years of escalating trade tensions, China is no stranger to the art of economic retaliation. The recent decision to increase tariffs on Chinese imports to a significant 20% was met with a calculated and strategic response. China, with its vast manufacturing capacity and deep reserves of economic firepower, targeted American agricultural products like soybeans and pork with retaliatory tariffs. They also played hardball with U.S. lumber imports and even went so far as to block soybean qualifications from 3 U.S. exporters. Xi Jinping, China's enigmatic leader, chose a more measured approach than some had anticipated. While standing firm against what he perceives as economic bullying, Xi seems keen to avoid an all-out trade war, recognizing the potential for mutually assured economic destruction. Don't mistake their silence for weakness. The dragon is just biding its time. Section 5, Empty Shelves and Price Hikes. The American consumer feels the pinch. Back on American soil, the impact of recent economic policies began to ripple through the economy, hitting consumers where it hurts the most, their wallets. The cost of living started to rise, and families found themselves having to make tough choices about their spending. Prices on everyday goods from electronics to clothing saw noticeable increases. Even those little plastic toys your kids beg for in the checkout line began to creep upwards, making it harder for parents to say yes. The CEOs of major corporations like Best Buy voiced their concerns. and Hasbro sounded the alarm, warning that economic policies would inevitably translate into higher prices for consumers. They emphasized that the increased costs would have to be passed down to the end users. The once familiar rhythm of American shopping habits was disrupted as supply chains were thrown into disarray and the cost of doing business soared. Retailers struggled to keep shelves stocked and consumers faced delays and shortages. The policies, initially touted as a way to protect American jobs, seemed to be having the opposite effect. Factories that were supposed to benefit from the policies found themselves grappling with higher costs. Companies, facing shrinking profit margins and uncertain futures, began to scale back on investments. The economic uncertainty made it difficult for businesses to plan for the future, and in some cases lay off workers. The very jobs that were meant to be protected were now at risk. Remember that Make America Great Again hat you bought? It was a symbol of hope for many. Yeah, it just got a lot more expensive. The rising costs have touched every corner of the market, leaving no product unaffected. Section 6. Gasping for relief, energy prices soar. The pain at the pump is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Recent geopolitical tensions have sent shockwaves through the energy sector, causing gas prices to spike, particularly in the northeastern United States. As the cost of crude oil rises, so does the price of gasoline, diesel, and other petroleum-based products. Commuters face longer lines and higher prices at the gas station, while businesses that rely on transportation and logistics grapple with rising operating costs. The energy sector, already grappling with the transition to renewable energy sources and the volatility of global oil markets, finds itself navigating a perfect storm of geopolitical uncertainty and economic instability. Fill her up? More like empty out my bank account, please. Section 7. Boardroom blues, corporate profits take a hit. The impact of the recent economic policies wasn't confined to consumers and small businesses. Major corporations, the supposed beneficiaries of these policies, found themselves caught in the crossfire. Target issued a profit warning, citing economic uncertainty as a major factor. Walmart, the retail behemoth, had previously issued soft guidance, acknowledging the potential for these policies to eat into its bottom line. The stock market, a fickle beast at the best of times, reacted with predictable volatility. Share prices of companies with significant exposure to international trade, particularly those operating in the retail, manufacturing, and technology sectors, took a beating. Remember that whole trickle-down economics thing? Yeah, not so much. Section 8. A World on Edge. Global Uncertainty and the Future of Trade. The year is 2023, and the world watches as the United States, once a champion of free trade and globalization, retreats behind a wall of tariffs. This shift marks a significant departure from decades of economic policy aimed at fostering international cooperation and economic interdependence. The global trading system, already strained by geopolitical tensions and the rise of economic nationalism, teeters on the brink of chaos. Countries that once thrived on open markets now find themselves grappling with protectionist policies and retaliatory measures. Trump's tariffs, far from achieving their stated goal of protecting American jobs and industries, have instead unleashed a wave of unintended consequences, damaging the very economy they were intended to protect. Manufacturing plants are closing, businesses are shuttering, and workers are being laid off in droves. Consumers face higher prices, businesses grapple with uncertainty, and the global economy stands at a crossroads. The ripple effects of these policies are felt far and wide, affecting not just the United States but economies around the world. The future of trade, and indeed the global order itself, hangs in the balance as the world waits to see whether cooler heads will prevail or whether the trade war will escalate into a full-blown economic conflagration. The stakes have never been higher, and the decisions made in the coming months will shape the global landscape for years to come. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be a bumpy ride. The turbulence we are experiencing now is just the beginning, and the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty and potential peril. And that's our show for tonight. We hope you found this deep dive into the complexities of global trade enlightening and thought-provoking. For more insightful commentary on the dumpster fire that is current events, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.